Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am not a writer at all, which probably goes to say why I'm not on social media that often. Just like the thought of writing a book or doing anything like that just stresses me out. It feels like so much stress. I would be in English class growing up, and you'd have to write a poem. Ever been there? You got to do poetry during one season of high school. And it was just like the most stressful season for me. Like, oh, I can't write anything. I hated to write. But there's something different when you begin to put onto paper things that are coming from your heart, maybe to somebody you love. Ever been there? And I remember when Jay and we were dating, and then we were in our engagement season. We did not live nearby each other. So Jay was here in Avondale. I was up in Cottonwood. We only saw each other about one time a week during our days off. Other than that, we were totally consumed in ministry at 2 different churches. And I remember sometimes I'd just get a card, and I would think of something, and I'd just write in it. And I'd throw it in the mail, and then maybe a couple days later, he would send me a text like, I got a card from you. That's so awesome. Thank you. You remember? And we would do this. No, you're on the spot. Did you remember? I know he remembers, because I'm going to tell you why I know. So we would do this back and forth to each other all the time. He'd send me something. I'd send him something. And then, we've been all over the world. So there's always like 2 main boxes that stay in America. They don't go anywhere with us. They're like vital, important papers that you can't recover. You know what I'm talking about? So we don't take them anywhere. We just leave them in the box. And so we moved back last summer, and we started going through the box. And there was another box inside the box. And when we opened it up, it was all the letters and all the cards from 14 years ago when we were writing back and forth. And so I'd open up a card, maybe one he wrote me or one I wrote him, and all of a sudden, all the memories started flooding back. Ever been there? You read something, and it instantly takes you back to the moment you wrote it. You can do that with writing. You can do it with a song. Ever been in a grocery store, and you're walking down the aisle, and all of a sudden you're singing, and you're like, what? Where's that coming from? And then some of you dancing, because it brings you back to the place that you remember. And so that is what the Summer of Psalms is going to be about. We are going to come to you with words of people who have gone before us and written these amazing things about their journey with God. And we're going to help you to keep moving forward in your walk with Jesus as well.